communications satellite, one NASA communications satellite, 4 military communications satellites, and they put up a satellite to detect missile launches. Now all of those satellites are placed into a geostationary orbit, and what that means is they want to park those satellites out there far enough so that as the Earth would rotate, that satellite would move at the same speed, always looking at the same piece of ground. In order to accomplish that, they had to park those out there a little more than 22,000 miles. They also put up a GPS satellite. That went up about 11,000 miles, so it's not geostationary, but they have a whole constellation of those GPS satellites at the same altitude. So they're stationary relative to each other. As long as you're picking up 3 or 4 of those, you're going to get a good location. We have a satellite that's on its way to Mars. That'll be dropping into the Martian orbit to study the upper atmosphere there. And then the last one was another Falcon 9 rocket. Now that's a company called SpaceX. How many of you have heard of SpaceX before? Several, good. SpaceX is a private company started by Elon Musk. He's one of the founders of PayPal. So he started a rocket company and now has a contract with NASA to deliver supplies to the International Space Station. He was the first private company to reach the space station. He has a current contract for 12 missions, and that one was his second trip up. Now, the interesting thing about his rocket system, the capsule on top, that Dragon capsule, is reusable. It splashes into the ocean like an Apollo capsule. So this is the first rocket system since the retirement of the shuttle that actually allows us to bring things down from the space station. And that's very important that we get these science experiments and things back down. We currently have 5 ways to get supplies up to the space station. Not only that Falcon 9, but the Russians, the European Space Agency, and Japan have rocket systems to get supplies up. Last year, the 5th way came online, another private company, Orbital Sciences. They had a test flight early in the year. In September, they actually took a load of supplies up to the space station. Everything was successful, so they now have a contract with NASA for 8 resupply missions. This Orbital Sciences rocket does not launch from here. Where do you think they might launch that rocket? Wallops Island, Virginia, eastern shore of the Chesapeake Bay, so keep an eye out for that one. Well, as we approach Pad 39A, this is still set up for the shuttle. It looks a lot like it would have the day after Atlantis launched on its last mission. They have removed the crew access arm and a clean room they're going to put down on display in the future. And there was a group of 7 cables taken off of the tower down to the left part of the emergency egress system for the astronauts, and they've just removed those here recently. Well, this is the crawlerway beside us. So if you follow this right up at the ramp there, right at the top, they would have had that mobile launch platform sitting up there. Atlantis would have been on top of the platform and launched from there. The tallest part of the pad is an 80-foot tall white Lightning mast. Now, that's about the same size as that Mercury Redstone rocket, to give you a little scale there. Let's see if this truck wants to go around me. Beneath of that is the fixed service structure. Now that's actually the top 2/3 of the service structure used during the Apollo program. But at that point it would have been mounted on top of the mobile launch platform. The tower, the platform